Well, hello there and welcome back to this F1 2019 Alfa Romeo career mode. We're at round 9 of our first season, so almost at the halfway stage, and we're at the we're in Spielberg at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. So we've got a few messages to read quickly. Then the goals update, finished 15th or better in the next 2 race weekends. We pick up 400 resource points. I think that is achievable. The weekend preview there from Quali, with obviously the track layout of Drivers and Constructors Championship on the right hand side. The developments completed. Good news, both the major upgrades for the powertrain and the chassis department have come in, so we're going to have a look in a second to see what that makes our performances compared to everyone else. And the weather forecast as well, sunny, cloudy, overcast, all of that in qualifying and the race, and no sign of rain again in the race. So we'll have a look then. This is our new contract, of course. You can see our contract value is now massively higher than our own value, so we've got to work on the next 4 weekends to get our value higher than the white bar. Our reputation with the team is quite good as it is anyway. So a new contract then, in case you didn't see it at the end of the previous episode. The top part we pretty much kept the same. Expected qualifying and race in 18th. Team order second driver to Kimi. Team goal, obviously we keep it at easy. As for the contract perks, the only thing we've changed is the race bonus. We now get 50% resource points bonus for races as a level 2 instead of a 25% level 1 as before. So the research and development then. So we'll click on the performance screen. There we go. The major upgrade, the first major upgrade for both the chassis and the powertrain departments are in, and that now unlocks the tree a bit more to get some more minor upgrades done. So we're free to pretty much go wherever the hell we want. As for the chassis department there, we're now the third worst, so we're working our way up there. We're now ahead of Toro Rosso and Williams. The aerodynamic department, we're still quite bad on that, but we have a litany of minor upgrades here that we can put onto the car pretty much whenever we like, and so we'll look to improve that. As for the powertrain, we're the second best now. Ferrari have moved up as well. We're still a little way behind Mercedes with their Mercedes engine, but it's still good progress there, as you can see. So no R&D in progress at the moment. We're free to put on some new upgrades or order some new upgrades at the end of this weekend. As for the progress history then, yeah, you can see we've shot right up. So both Mercedes and Ferrari have had upgrades. Nothing for Red Bull and Renault this time. Haas have had a minor upgrade. Nothing for Force India or McLaren. Both Toro Rosso, Williams and ourselves have had big upgrades as well. So from Renault down, it's pretty close there in the midfield actually. It's closing up a little bit there. And our 2 major upgrades there shoots us right up ahead of McLaren, and we're only a little way behind Force India as well. So you can see that we're almost halfway through the first season as well. That's gone quite quick. And yeah, so the midfield there, quite close. So performance and consistency is going to be very, very key if we manage to make sure that we keep pushing on with the developments and the results. The vehicle management then, I will carry these into FP1 because I don't know what the weather is going to be like. They're all pretty healthy, as you can see. There's no need to worry just yet. Gearbox, when we go into FP1, the pending gearbox will be bolted onto the car, so we'll have a fresh gearbox as well for that. So then, I'll go away now and do FP1 and FP2 off camera. Hopefully some good news to report when I come back in a little while to start FP3. So here we are back at the workstation. FP1 and FP2 have been completed. We're on the pace. We're very, very much on the pace. Austria is another circuit which I quite like and have always gone traditionally quite well here in previous career modes on previous games. And it's probably the best 2 sessions I've had so far. We smashed out 4 of the 5 practice programs with a purple score across the board in FP1. And in FP2, I bolted on the old engine parts and just did 10 laps on the soft tyres to gauge some sort of a tyre wear graph. It looks good. I think, you know, we can go for either a 1 or a 2 stop strategy here, depending on how aggressive we want to be. So I'll just quickly change back all the units then. I think I'm already pending. Yeah, I think I'm already pending. Or I hope I'm already pending. My God. Yeah, let's just double check. Yeah, that's fine. So everything will be, all the newer units will be put back onto the car. And even in FP3, where obviously we ran the soft tyres, the practice gearbox 7% and the race at 25, just to say quickly. Yeah, in FP2, even though we were running obviously the used engine parts, the wear was probably going off probably 2 or 3 temps per lap right up to the end of lap 10. So it's about 2, I think about just over 2 seconds off of what was our best lap, which was our second lap. And we still ended the session in 13th place. We kept the fuel standard and the ERS at medium, ERS mode number 2, and we still ended up well within the midfield. So I think, you know, practice 3, we've got the practice qualifying program on to do, which we'll do, and then we'll move into qualifying. And I really hope, like, you know, looking back at France and Canada, we were quite strong in the practice sessions, and then it fed away in qualifying in the race. We're very strong here, very, very strong here. I just hope that whatever problems we've been experiencing in qualifying in the race just go away, and we can actually have a positive result. 'Cause it's been a while since we've finished in the points. I think all the way back to round 5 at Spain. This is now round 9. So it would be nice to break that little drought that we've been having, finishing outside the points. So we'll go to FP3 and we'll do the qualifying practice program, which I believe we should be able to do in our first attempt. So in the garage, we'll get out nice and early to get this done. So you can see the track acclimatization, tyre management, fuel management, ERS management, all purple, all very nice. We've still got the engine ERS R&D objective to do. 2 objectives on the left hand side because of the 2 upgrades we recently had, and if we're faster both sector 1 and sector 2, we gain additional resource points for that. As for the well, I'll definitely check the power units, just make sure we aren't, or hopefully we're on unit number 2. We'll find out when we go out on circuit.
Okay, we've not got long between now and qualifying, so it'd be very productive for us to run the qualifying pace evaluation. We can get some good R&D data as well if we complete it.
Well, yeah, so that's why we're going out on circuit. It's still got a set of mediums we can use, but we won't. We've got 1 set of soft tyres. So we'll show the car setup then. Yeah, we'll drain the fuel just in case it has any sort of effect. Aero 5.6. We're very quick in a straight line, as you can imagine as well, and the downforce in the sector 2 with the double left hand is not too bad either, as long as we're careful on the throttle. Transmission 80-80, suspension geometry 3 clicks to the right, 3 clicks to the left for the camber and the toe. Suspension 5-5-5-7-3-4, brakes 85 pressure, 58 bias, and the tyres is it 3? Yeah, it's 3 clicks to the right on the front, 3 clicks to the left on the rear. Obviously, the further you go on the right, you're increasing the tyre pressure and decreasing it to the left as well. And doing that is basically, like France as well, we're sort of getting the same sort of percentage of wear on all 4 tyres at the same time. So the unbalancing shouldn't be too much of an effect once the tyres do start to wear off. So that's the setup, which obviously will run from here on out. Qualifying pace program. Yes, I want the soft tyres. Yes, I want to drive out of the garage.
Track is still green. Try and take it easy for the first couple of laps.
Well, I'll take it easy for the out lap, and then we've got to absolutely go for it. So it's quite a short lap here. We can usually do it in about 104, 105, something like that. Engineers found me some space. The second car out on track. But looks at it. No, third car out on track. Pit limiter off. And the EOS management is sort of needed around here, as you can imagine, with 3 long straights. So what I've traditionally done in the past is run EOS mode 3 or 4 down the 3 main straights, and then either 1 or 2, depending on, you know, the situation we're in at the time, from pretty much turn 3 to the end of the lap. And we can usually keep a nice balanced amount of ERS. 3 DRS zones here, main straight, then between turn 1 and turn 2, and then between turn 2 and here, turn 3. So we'll be expecting to be very busy in the opening part of each lap, trying to attack and defend cars around us. So the target lap time on the right hand side will pop up once we cross the line. Target position anyway is at least 15th, which I think we should be easily able to do. Just double check we have got all the better units on. We have indeed, so that's good. And we'll bump the EOS up to 5. And we'll start pushing. Out of the final corner. Here we go. Let's try and get it done. Purple it is.
And a job well done. We got some excellent data with that run, so come on back to the garage and I can talk you through the numbers.
So we almost got 345 out of 345 resource points. We missed out on 5. We didn't go fast enough in Sector 1. Missed out by about 100th of a second, I think it was, which is disappointing. So we'll have a slow tour back to the pits, and that'll be FP3 over for us. No point going out again. I don't want the extra 20 or 30 resource points for completing more laps. I don't want to be adding additional wear to the units if I don't need to. Practice program's all done. Got the data I need, got the setup I want, feeling confident. So we'll let this Williams through. George Russell. And we'll come back into the pits. Okay, pull over and let me through again. Weirdo. So we ended the session in 3rd place, just 200ths off of Hamilton, with Vettel in between, and so very, very close to the top. Usually, if we're right at the very top, which we are, to be honest, after doing the practice qualifying run, then it usually means we're in good stead going into qualifying and the race. I was also purple in the sectors 1 and 2. It was about, I think, a 10th and a half off in Sector 3, so not too worried about that. Obviously, running slightly lower wings means we're going to lose a bit of downforce in those 2 final corners, and I did make a bit of a mistake as well, so it probably could have been the fastest, but it doesn't matter too much. All the focus is now going into the qualifying session. So the resource points for FP3 will always be a little bit lower than normal, because we didn't obviously do too much running. It's 80 that time, because it was helped by doing some other team and R&D objectives as well. 1,844, which is a nice healthy amount. And our reputation with most of the teams, including Alfa Romeo, went up as well a little bit, as did the respect level. And now we can focus on qualifying. So we've got the generic 3 messages in. One from Emma, good luck this session. Jeff, weather forecast to go over it again. Qualifying in the race is going to be a bit overcast with a bit of sun here and there. So it will change the track conditions a little bit, but no sign of rain. And obviously there's some information there about the circuit. So we'll advance into qualifying then. And hopefully we can get this car inside the top 10.
Thank you for joining us once again for today's qualifying session. Sit back, relax, and enjoy what we hope will be a fantastic contest for pole position. Looking at this field today, Anthony, do you think we're going to see anyone take a chance? Maybe run the hard tyres and save some of the grippier tyres for the race tomorrow?
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that, and even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race, so I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
So then in the garage at the beginning of qualifying, I've got a decision to make here. We could try to go out on the medium tyres, see how well we do compared to everyone else, and if we are slipping down the order, go out there on the soft tyres. 17 laps is the lifespan of the softs, 22 for the mediums, 28 for the hards. So there is an even spread across all 3 compounds, where the hards are a little bit slower than we ultimately think.
ETA is about 15 minutes.
Okay, we might see some rain in about 15 minutes, which is going to be interesting. Let's have a look now, 15 minutes from now. It might rain a little bit, but I don't think it will make too much of a difference. Let's have a look at the 20-minute mark. No, there might be a bit of rain in towards the end of the session, which could be interesting. So, I mean, ideally, if we go for the soft tyres, I genuinely think we could get inside the top 10. Unless we're having the problems that we've had in the last few episodes. We could just absolutely go for it and then lock into a 2-stop strategy and try to run with the leaders if, you know, that does happen. Or we could try to be sneaky with the 1-stop strategy and pull off a worldie of a race. Yeah, we're going to go out there on the medium tyres. We're going to see what it's like. Drain the fuel out. I believe we're on the medium tyres. We are. So let's get out there now.
When you're ready,
and see if we can put in a quick enough lap time. So a few cars out on the circuit, the rest will obviously filter out in the next minute or so. It's not a particularly difficult circuit to get right, there's only 9 corners after all. Plenty of overtaking opportunities with the 3 DRS straights. All 3 of them provide some good overtaking opportunities. But into turn 2 and down here into turn 3 are probably the 2 best. You kind of want to use the DRS coming across the start-finish line to tuck up nicely to the car in front of you and then try to get past into turn 2. And if you fail to do it, well, you get a second bite of the cherry going into turn 3. So just trying to find myself a little bit of track space at the moment. Already halfway around the lap. Got a Red Bull behind me, so I don't particularly want to be near him, or the Ferrari behind him as well. So I think we will just pull over to the side and let both of them go through. Right, I don't think I'll be put off too much by the Ferrari ahead. Out of the final corner on the medium tyres. Let's see if we can get anywhere close to that 106.7 by Vettel. Oh, come on guys, get off the racing line. Oh, compromised again by Vettel, for fuck's sake. Ah, so 107.609. Nah, fuck you, Verstappen. You blocked me. Get blocked. Get blocked. There you go. Your lap's now fucking compromised, prick. So we're sitting in 10th at the moment. That will go down. So we definitely can't make top 10 on the medium tyres, which I didn't think so anyway. But we'll be able to gauge our performance once we get back into the pit lane. We definitely could have gone 3 or 4 attempts quicker if it wasn't for those 2 holding me up. So back in the garage, just over 9 minutes left. The track is empty, so we're going to put on a set of soft tyres. Looking at the timing screens, we're in 15th. We need to find 3 temps, just over 3 temps to get inside the top 10, which I think we can easily achieve. I am going to go for it. We are going to try and get inside the top 10 and probably lock ourselves into a 2-stop strategy, because I think we will fall. Yeah, thank you, Jeff. It shouldn't matter too much. We will fall, I think, all the way down to 19th if we don't go out again, which is a bit ridiculous. So I've changed the tyres. Let's get back out on circuit.
All set. Everyone clear? Car to track.
And I think, you know, on these tyres we should be able to achieve a mid 106, which might very well put us very close to the front of the field. But our pace is there. You can see that already. Even with a hindered medium qualifying run, we're still in 15th place. So it's all about nailing these 9 corners as smoothly, as cleanly and as quickly as possible. Turn everything back up. Final corner. Just give it the bees.
laps of fuel remaining.
P4, we're into P4. Half a second off of Bottas, but we are currently in 4th place. And we have time and a set of tyres to go out there again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are bang on the money. So 3 minutes left of the session. We will go out again because I feel that the guys behind us, I mean, down to here, it's only about 2/10 of a second. 2/10 of a second, so we could fall down the order, and it looks like that Bottas has improved as well. We've got an opportunity to maybe get past Vettel, but he's in a flying lap at the moment. So we have gone on to another set of soft tyres. We've saved an extra set for the race as well. The mediums we haven't. So I think our strategy going into the race might be soft, medium, hard. Or soft, hard, medium, whatever it will be. But we'll definitely be starting inside the top 10 at this rate. So we'll exit this screen. We'll go on again. It must be our third and final run in qualifying. It's about 2.5 minutes left of the session. We've got plenty of time to get round. And as Jeff is saying, the rain is close. And we'll make a few changes to the track. But, you know, I mean, as it starts falling now, I think we'll be okay. So just come down the pit lane in. Crucial to try and find ourselves some track space. I'm also as well not going to save fuel this time. I'm not going to save fuel because we don't need to complete an in-lap. Oh mate, really? I was so over to the side. That's not my fault, I held you up, dude. So we don't need to save fuel, which will help a little bit. We'll find an extra half a tenth. Perez up in 5th place as well. This is a power track, so no surprise to see the Ferrari and Mercedes engine cars near the top. Got a Haas behind me, so we'll move over and allow him through. Be very courteous. Not that they'll do it back to me, of course, as we've already seen. I've got a Red Bull behind me, so we'll move over to the left-hand side after this corner, and then we can start to go a little bit faster. Because there's a bit of a gap back to the McLarens, who are clearly faster than anyway. So just under a minute left of the session. That should be enough space, hopefully. Right, can we improve a little bit more? P4. We are starting P4 on the grid. We managed to get past Vettel. We was agonisingly 200ths of a second away from Verstappen and being in 3rd. And we're only 2/10 away from Hamilton. We're only 4/10 off of pole position, which is being occupied by Bottas. So an Alfa Romeo up in 4th place. Maybe finally our luck is about to turn after 3 pretty average races recently. So we've out-qualified Vettel. Perez in 6th place. A Ferrari in 5th and 7th. Not good for them. Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Ricciardo complete the top 10. All of these guys in the top 10 will be starting on the soft tyres they set their best lap on. Gasly in 11th. Wow, Gasly in 11th. Raikkonen in 12th. Webber 13th. Stroll Vettel, Russell, Grosjean, Lando Norris, Devon Butler, Carlos Sainz and Alexander Albon completes the grid. So the rivalry breakdown then completed qualifying and we out-qualified both Russell and Raikkonen. And there we go, we've won the rivalry against George Russell. At the end of the last episode, all we had to do pretty much was, complete qualifying and we would have done it. So that's a nice, we put that rivalry away. The resource points, and this should be very high, probably the highest we can possibly get at the moment in qualifying. Result for car performance 100, and the rivalry 1 as well, 250, gives us a total of an extra 400 resource points, taking us well over the 2,000 mark. It's very nice indeed, and the reputation there up quite a bit actually, considering it was only qualifying based on the performance that we managed to put in, and the respect level went up a little bit as well, which is always nice.
Alright, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
We certainly should be. So we've got one message in from Jeff. Good luck today. The whole team's been flat out all weekend to give you the best shot we can of a good result. Now it's up to you to do the same. Keep a cool head and pay attention to the space around you, especially on the opening couple of laps. There will all be cars making unpredictable movements, so you'll need to anticipate that and be ready to react. So there we go then. That is FP3 and qualifying done. Unless there's penalties ahead of us, we're going to be starting this race from 4th place. And hopefully the next episode you watch will see us pull off a worldie of an episode and pick up some much needed points. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all for the next one very soon.